Hello, I am Dr. Jagruti Shah, preventive diabetologist from Bombay. You are watching me on CIFI.com.
Please share your expert views on the risk factors involved in gestational diabetes.
Gestational diabetes is a type of variety of diabetes which occurs usually during the pregnancy, and after the pregnancy it doesn't require to be treated or it is not there. See, for example, this is a very simplified way of putting it. Many females, if they are likely to develop diabetes, they either develop diabetes, whichever variety of diabetes, whether it's type 1, type 2 or gestational diabetes, they develop either when there is a sort of hormonal or sexual character development in there, that is in early childhood, most of the time between 6 years to 18 years of age. Many times maybe menarche is the first onset if you are likely to develop, say, sort of a type 1 or type 2 diabetes in early childhood. If you do not develop diabetes during this period, then your chances of developing diabetes becomes higher during pregnancy. Either you develop during either a first pregnancy or a second pregnancy or subsequent pregnancy. So abnormal sort of pregnancies like premature deliveries, abortions, miscarriages, they indirectly sort of give a message that probably patient might be having a high blood sugars which went undetected. Gestational diabetes is a terminology which we use for a diabetes which occurs maybe any time after 5th month of pregnancy, and it remains till sometimes 9 months till the child is delivered, and subsequently it does not require any treatment. Many times during this period also, some patients require insulin therapy, some patients can be managed only with diet and exercise, but it requires a very close observation. Many times gestational diabetes is missed. Why? Because many times patients either forget to inform their gynecologist that they are coming from a diabetic family. They sometimes forget to inform gynecologists that their blood sugars have been done only once or twice in the past. See, when you have a strong family history of diabetes, you have to have a blood sugar done once you confirm that you have conceived. That means the moment your first period is missed, you have to see whether your blood sugars are normal or not. That is number one. You have to do blood sugars after 3 months again if you are not found to be, because as there is a development process going on in your body, the hormonal changes keep on occurring in the body. So sometimes you may not have a diabetes when you have conceived, and that time blood sugars are normal, and if that blood sugar is taken as a baseline and subsequently blood sugars are not done on 5th or 7th month, then many times diabetes is missed. So every stage blood sugars have to be repeated. That means at 3rd month, 5th month, 7th month and 9th month. And we have seen that some patients developing abnormal blood sugar values, not classically on 5th month or 6th month, but they sometimes develop at the 7th or 8th month, or sometimes during the delivery period, just prior the delivery period also. So it's very important with a strong family history of diabetes or with a abnormal sort of obstetric history where you have a such sort of abortion or miscarriage history is there. It's advisable to do blood sugar fasting and post lunch very frequently, and in some cases we recommend that you can go for a oral glucose tolerance test also if you are having a doubtful reports. HbA1c has not been considered as a very good marker for diagnosing gestational diabetes, but in case of doubt, the values of the HbA1c can be also correlated if hemoglobin values are not very low or abnormal.
Can you please share some myths related to diabetes?
The most common myths are that if you get diabetes, that means you should not be eating sweet things. This is the most common myth, that if you eat sweet things, you will get diabetes, and once you get diabetes, you should not be eating sweet things. This is one of the biggest myths. If you don't get diabetes because of eating sweet things, that is number one. And after getting diabetes also, you can continuously keep on eating sweet things in moderation. Like for example, all fruits are sweet, but in diabetic patients, we never ask patients to cut down any fruit. Maybe in some group fruits are having higher caloric content, so we want you to eat in a lesser quantity and less frequently, and some fruits like guava or apple or pear, these are the fruits you can practically eat daily. A medium size apple or medium size orange you can eat daily. So this is one of the most common myth about sweet things. Second myth is about insulin injections, that once you get a diabetes and once you have to take insulin injections, means you have to take insulin lifelong. Most of the diabetic patients perceive insulin as a treatment in a very complicated or a terminal phase. When if a doctor says that they have to take insulin, that means they are in a terminal phase or they are having a very bad complication. This is not true. Sometimes we give insulin just to cut down the glucotoxicity, and once the glucotoxicity is cut down, you have a very good quality of life years together, and sometimes you may not require at all even drugs to control diabetes. So early initiation of insulin sometimes is very useful in prolonging in your pancreatic beta cells life. That is number one. Number two, once you are on insulin means always you have to take insulin, that is also not true. Many times we give insulin injections pre-operatively and post-operatively when you have infections, when drugs cannot be given because of some liver or kidney damage. So whenever such parameters are corrected, many times after 3 to 6 months we discontinue insulin and patients can be put back on the tablets. Patients, when they are in a complications of diabetes and when the complication does not permit them to be some of the oral hypoglycemic agents to be given, in that situations patients may have to take insulin lifelong. Various studies have shown that after 20 years of diabetes, many times it is a very practical and rational approach to have a small dose of tablet and small dose of insulin in combination that gives a better quality of life, reduces complications of diabetes and better compliance. So as a doctor, I always recommend that if your duration of diabetes is more than say 20 years, then even if you are put on insulin, it is advisable to go on insulin lifelong, then insist on cutting down of insulin or stopping or withdrawing insulin after the blood sugars are under control.